You have been told to ask. You have been told to pray. But no one ever taught you how to truly receive. You imagine that asking is enough. You throw your desires into the air like coins into a wishing well. And then you wait, confused, when nothing changes. But I tell you this, asking is not begging. It is alignment. It is not a weak hope whispered into the dark. It is a powerful declaration from a heart anchored in certainty. Ask, and you shall receive, was never a promise for the timid. It was a covenant with those who understand that true asking is born from true belief. When you ask from a place of fear, you are not really asking, you are pleading. And the universe does not respond to fear disguised as prayer. It responds to faith, to conviction, to hearts so aligned with what they seek that they carry it inside them before they ever see it in their hands. Jesus said, "Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." Mark 11:24. Notice the order. Believe first. Receive second. You do not beg reality into submission. You become the reality that attracts what belongs to you. The true act of asking is not a transaction. It is a transformation. It is not placing an order with the universe and sitting back in impatience. It is stepping into the identity of someone who already carries what they seek. When you ask for peace, you must become peace in your heart. When you ask for abundance, you must embody gratitude before the harvest comes. To ask properly is to prepare the room for what you claim is coming. It is to clean the space inside you so that when the door opens, you are ready to walk through without hesitation or fear. You say you desire change, but your soul is still chained to who you were yesterday. You say you want more, but you hold on to lack like a shield. This is why your prayers fall empty. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. To ask and receive is not a game of luck. It is a brutal unveiling of your real beliefs. The universe listens not to your words, but to your vibration. And your vibration is the music of your innermost convictions. If you want different outcomes, you must first become a different instrument. You think the delay is punishment. You think silence means you were ignored. But often the delay is mercy. It is preparation. It is the space needed to grow into the person who can hold what you are asking for without it destroying you. Jesus said, "Whoever is faithful with little will also be faithful with much." Luke 16:10. If you cannot be trusted with the seeds, how will you be trusted with the harvest? True asking is not impatient. It is steady. It trusts the timing because it trusts the process. It knows that no true blessing ever arrives before its time. To ask is to surrender control over the how and the when. It is to plant a seed and trust that the soil is doing its invisible work. Many destroy their own blessings because they dig up the seed too soon, demanding proof that it is growing. Faith is patience under silence. Faith is confidence without evidence. If you demand constant reassurance, you are not asking. You are doubting in disguise. True asking releases the outcome. It rests in the knowing that what has been claimed in spirit cannot be denied in reality. The mouth asks, but the heart prepares. If your words and your inner state are at war, the universe will always answer your truth, not your performance. You can say, "I am ready." But if fear still sits on the throne inside you, what you ask for will pass by you like a ship refusing to dock at a hostile shore. Jesus taught that faith moves mountains, not noise, not repetition, but faith. And faith is the unseen readiness of the soul. It is the soil saying to the seed, "You are welcome here," even before the first sprout appears. You must stop begging and start embodying. Stop sending desperate signals into the air, hoping to be rescued. Start standing in the certainty that you are already seen, already heard, already aligned with the greater story being written for you. Desperation repels what you seek. Faith magnetizes it. The one who truly asks is not anxious. They are expectant. They prepare their life as if the answer is inevitable, because to them it already is. This is how asking becomes receiving, not through force, but through faithful preparation. You were never taught that the power to receive lies, not in shouting louder, but in quieting deeper. The louder your fear, the more you drown out the still voice of provision already speaking to you. Jesus retreated to silent places not because he was powerless, but because he understood that manifestation begins in stillness, in the deep, hidden spaces where the soul aligns with heaven. If you cannot find peace before the answer arrives, you will not recognize the answer even when it stands before you. Stillness is not weakness. It is the sacred soil where miracles take root. Most people think they are waiting for their prayer to be answered. But in truth, their prayer is waiting for them to become someone who can hold it. Desire alone is not enough. Readiness is required. Maturity is required. Humility is required. Asking without preparing is like demanding a kingdom while refusing to wear the crown. It is a cry without commitment. And the universe, with all its invisible laws and sacred rhythms, only entrusts its treasures to those who are prepared to carry them without breaking under the weight. Are you preparing or just pleading? There is a reason Jesus often spoke of seeds, soil, and harvests. He knew that the law of the unseen governs the seen, that what is planted in faith will manifest in time, but only if tended with patience and trust. You cannot plant a seed today and demand fruit tomorrow, nor can you curse the ground and expect it to yield abundance. Asking is planting, receiving is harvesting. But between these two, there must be watering, weeding, and waiting. If you despise the process, you will forfeit the promise. When you ask, you must guard the gate of your mind. Doubt will come disguised as logic. Fear will dress itself in caution. Voices will whisper, "It's taking too long," or "It will never happen for you." But you must remember, the soil does not argue with the seed. It simply nurtures it in silence. Guard your thoughts like a soldier protects a city under siege. Speak life over what you have planted. Starve the weeds of fear. Water the roots of your faith. Faith is a garden, not a transaction, and it must be tended daily in silence and with stubborn hope. Many will ask and then live as if they were still empty. They will pray for abundance and walk in scarcity. They will pray for love and carry bitterness. They will pray for strength and nurture weakness with their habits. This is why their asking is barren. The way you live after you ask reveals what you truly believe. If you believe it is coming, you prepare a place for it. You clear the old furniture. You build the new house. You live today as if tomorrow's promise is already your reality. That is the faith that moves unseen mountains. True asking demands that you align every part of your being with the reality you seek. Your words, your thoughts, your habits, your environment, everything must agree with what you have asked for. Anything that contradicts your desire must be removed, no matter how familiar or comfortable it feels. Jesus never taught passive waiting. He taught active preparation. Asking without preparation is empty noise. Asking with preparation is a living prophecy. You are not waiting for your future to find you. You are becoming the kind of person your future can recognize and embrace. Stop asking from a place of lack. When you beg, you affirm that you do not have. When you plead, you declare scarcity over your own life. But when you ask from faith, you affirm that what you seek is already on its way. It is not arrogance to walk in expectation. It is not pride to prepare as if the answer is coming. It is obedience to the law that governs all creation. You reap what you sow, you find what you seek, you become what you believe. Your life bends around the shape of your convictions. Speak from fullness, not from fear. You are a vessel, not a beggar. You are not designed to scrape crumbs from the floor of the universe. You were made to carry rivers of life, overflowing onto everything you touch. But rivers do not flow where the channels are blocked. They do not move through hearts clogged with bitterness, envy, fear. Clean the vessel. Make room. Prepare space for the abundance you have asked for. You do not chase the blessing. You become the space where the blessing naturally arrives, effortlessly, inevitably. Heaven fills what is ready, not what is desperate. Do not be deceived. You are always manifesting something, whether by faith or by fear, by clarity or by confusion. The universe responds not to your wishes, but to your essence. You do not get what you claim with your mouth. You get what you embody with your life. If you ask for freedom but live chained to old patterns, you will receive bondage dressed as opportunity. If you ask for abundance but cling to scarcity in your thinking, you will see lack even when surrounded by provision. You attract not what you say you want, but what you truly believe you are worthy of. When Jesus said, "According to your faith let it be done to you," he was not offering a suggestion. He was revealing a law. Faith is the currency of the unseen. It is the architecture of realities yet to come. To ask is to build. To believe is to furnish. To prepare is to live today as if tomorrow's miracle is already your inheritance. This is the hidden secret of receiving. It begins not when you see it, but when you live as if you already do. Reality does not shape your faith. Faith shapes your reality. The gap between asking and receiving is sacred ground. It is the place where most give up, where doubt feels louder than promise, where fatigue tempts you to settle for less than you asked for. But I tell you, do not bury your seed because the rain has not yet come. Do not curse the field because the green has not yet broken through. The unseen is still working. Silence is not absence. Delay is not denial. Stay faithful in the unseen. Stay expectant in the invisible. The gap is not a grave. It is a womb. Every moment you live in expectation, you stretch your capacity to receive. You enlarge the territory of your soul. You build an invisible home for the blessing you have not yet seen. This is why Jesus said, "Blessed are those who have not seen and yet believe." John 20:29. Faith is not delusion. It is vision anchored in a higher truth. It is seeing with your spirit what your eyes have not yet caught up to. When you live as if the promise is already yours, you collapse the distance between asking and receiving. You become the magnet for the unseen. The universe is not cruel. It is precise. It mirrors back to you the vibration you carry, the readiness you embody, the truth you live. When you align your heart, your thoughts, your actions with what you have asked for, reality has no choice but to respond. It is law, not chance. It is certainty, not gamble. Your role is not to force the answer, but to prepare the soil. Your task is not to chase the blessing, but to become the one who can hold it. You do not hunt miracles. You grow into them. You ask and wonder why it feels silent, but have you listened to the silence? Have you allowed the waiting to transform you, or have you filled it with noise and complaint? Silence is not punishment. It is the furnace where belief is purified. It is the field where deep roots are formed before any fruit appears. If you cannot trust God in silence, you cannot handle the fullness of His answer. The silence does not delay your blessing. It deepens your capacity to carry it without breaking. Honor the silence. It is not empty. It is sacred. You are closer than you think. Every step of unseen preparation has been weaving a future more solid than your doubts. Every choice to believe when it was easier to despair has carved deeper channels for your blessing to flow. Faith is not wasted effort. It is compound interest in the invisible, and the day will come, so quietly at first, that what you carried in secret will break into the open. What you nurtured in silence will shout your victory without words. What you dared to believe in the dark will crown you in the light. So ask, but ask as one who knows they are heard. Prepare, but prepare as one who knows the guest is already on the way. Believe, but believe as one who no longer clutches at hope, but stands in possession. You do not manifest by accident. You manifest by alignment. Ask with your heart anchored. Walk with your life prepared. And watch as heaven itself moves mountains to meet the soul that dared to believe first and see second.